Hello and welcome back to another reading. Let's go ahead and jump in to see what is meant for you to hear today. I hope you all have been having a good day so far. I just learned today that we had a Jupiter Cazimi recently. And it made me think about how there was a moment the other day. It was shortly after what I assume, like when Jupiter transitioned into Leo, that I felt this like familiarity and warmth and nostalgia and ultimately relief. And I wonder if that was the point of the Cazimi. And I'm curious for you if you felt that too. We're in a slightly different spot today. And as we were shuffling, there's this card that came out, so I'm sure you probably noticed. It started off in the reverse, and then as we talked more and more about the Cazimi, it went into the overlay. So this card here seems to be pretty significant. We have the Seven of Cups. I feel like the Seven of Cups has been coming up quite a bit lately. With this, being in the reverse and going to the overlay, it signals a couple of different things to me. Like one, it makes me wonder about all the things that you have going on in your life, and if it feels like you're wanting to call more things in, but it may not feel like there's enough room for it, or the amount of things that you already have feel pretty overwhelming. And then with this slowly turning into the overlay, I'm like, oh, okay. I wonder if this is just a major theme in your life right now, where you're noticing that there are a lot of different options available to you, whether this is related to career, money, or relationships. It seems like there's a lot of options available to you, a lot of projects on your mind, a lot of things that you've been wanting to do. And this is just a theme of the chapter that you're currently in. And it makes me curious if this momentum is going to continue moving forward. Thanks. I was going to say thank you, which yes, thank you too, but thanks to the influence of the Jupiter transit. And so I'm really curious for you where you may have Jupiter in your chart and where you may have been experiencing that. But also, let's go ahead and take a look at the bottom of the deck like we typically do to see what else might be here. We see the Star. So with the Star card, this suggests that there was an ending and now you are emerging. I am often drawn to these stars and how bright they are. So the hope at the end of the tunnel, like the light at the end of the tunnel, the hope after the crumbling of whatever it was in your life. It sounds like that's probably supporting this theme of all of these opportunities coming in your way. So with this card, we may be finding you in a place where you just ended some cycle here. Let's go ahead and see what messages are here for you. What may be helpful for you as you embark in this next chapter? Ooh. Okay. The cards are falling out so neatly. We see one that came upright and then these others that came in the overlay. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of scooch these over so that way we have a little bit more room. I'm working on a smaller surface today, so thank you for your patience as we kind of shift things around. But we see here the Ace of Cups. So this is indeed a new chapter for you. You are being offered this overflowing of abundance, of an opportunity, of this beautiful insight, this enriching of your internal realm, your inner world, in your psyche. So it seems like this letting go of this chapter that just ended for you was something that you really needed. It feels like it was really divinely guided. I'm being really drawn to the dove here Yeah, it feels like a divine deliverance. And I imagine that it may have been really painful or really difficult to kind of go through that rumbling of that structure. It may not have been like your foundation necessarily, but a structure that you held that upheld a lot of these different beliefs towards others, or just how you see the world and how you see yourself. So because you allowed what needed to crumble to do just that, that is allowing this divine deliverance of this next chapter, this blessing in this next chapter. And it's interesting too that, again, we started with the 7 of Cups, right? And here is the Ace of Cups. So this is also suggesting that these cups, like these different opportunities and blessings that are coming in, they are just that, they're blessed. There is this wonderful gift that is being delivered to you straight from the divine that is going to help bless this next chapter for you, which, after allowing the rumbling to occur, that rumbling and that crumbling, I mean, I'm sure this is a welcomed blessing. So we have a bunch in the overlay, like I mentioned. One just fell down, so I'm going to grab that here in a second. But the one that was flipped over that was yet to be revealed to us was the Queen of Pentacles. It's interesting because right when I saw this card, it looked like she was playing maybe like the lute or something, like some type of stringed instrument. But as I looked closer, you can see that no, this person is actually just cradling this pentacle. There's something about the Queen of Pentacles that has such a lush energy. It may not be the Empress lushness, but there's something about this this carefree, lackadaisical, I don't know why that word is coming up. I never use that word. But yeah, just kind of chilling, in the abundance, with this lucky rabbit here, and just savoring, indulging in what is there because you got it. You know what I mean? So that seems like one of the blessings here. 2 of the cards that stayed on the table were the 8 of Swords and the Page of Wands. So these both also being in the overlay. So this feels like to me like you're walking out of that rubble of the tower that had occurred for you, and the Page of Wands is signaling this next chapter. So we keep talking about this next chapter, and with the fire element being here, it seems like it's not only spiritually led, but it's also led from the heart. That seems to have come up in a lot of the readings in the past, where there was this encouragement to really lead from the heart space. And it seems like you're doing exactly that. And it seems as though that is really helping you lead a life that feels really well in alignment with what you desire and how you desire to live. With the fire element, it also makes me think about authenticity and how important authenticity is for fulfilling our purpose, for walking our purpose on purpose, for our path of remembrance, and also for manifestation. I feel like a big part of manifestation is really this process of, as we get into alignment, all of these other objects and opportunities and people, places, whatever it may be, those also come into alignment. I'm getting this image of Inception. I don't know if you all have seen that movie, but you know how when they're, well, for those of you who have seen the movie, when they're traveling the dreams of others, there's this, depending on what the dreamer is thinking or what is being present, some objects or different roots and people, they all kind of fall into place. And that's how I feel like manifestation kind of is. It's we may think of it, or I think it can be really common to think of manifestation as oh, well, I just want something and I'm getting it. And while yes, that's one way to look at it, I feel like from a higher perspective, manifestation is really the opportunity for us to come into alignment with ourselves, with our purpose, with our path of remembrance, so that we may come into alignment with all of those elements within us, and then things fall into place to support us on that aligned path. And that's why, there's a lot of talk around, like, when we're wanting to manifest things in our lives, that another version of us already has it, right? Like, if we think of this from like a quantum perspective, if there's multiple realities happening all at the same time, and we're manifesting in each of those are all magnetized mass and matter that is appearing in our reality as we walk whatever path we're walking on. So if we're walking our aligned path, the things that we desire, or the things that match the vibration of our aligned selves who desire things or whatever it is, are in alignment. You know what I mean? It's a mirror, and it's attracting that. So if we can see our lives as like a mirror of our internal state, not in the sense of just psychologically or emotionally, but how much in alignment we are with our truth, with who we actually are, the version of us that's past the body, past the emotions, the thoughts, the desires, but that essence, the observer. If we are able to step back into that, that is what we will be attracting, and that is what a lot of people consider manifestation, because it can feel as though these things just magically appear in our lives, and they happen to match the things that we really want and desire, or they elicit that feeling of wholeness and fulfillment. And I think that's why there's a lot of talk around like not attaching to the things that we desire. Sorry about that. I got a call coming in. It was a spam call. How interesting. But I feel like that is something that is often implied when we talk about like not attaching to the things that we desire. Because what we really desire is to have that emotion lit up within us, or having that sensation mirror the light that is within. That is something that is matching what we asked and what we signed up to experience in this lifetime. I mean, you think about being human, it's so much about the senses, right? Like, yes, there's the clairs, but even just down to like the bodily senses, there's like the 5 outward senses, but there's also like interoception and other like internal senses too, in addition to the clairs. But that is a big part of this human experience. And so when we're wanting things, we're really seeking that mirroring of the divinity that is within us and how that may feel in this human incarnation. You know what I mean? Like in this vessel. So, all that to say, it feels like you are walking this path really deliberately and really wanting it to feel in alignment with where you are mentally, where you are on a mission level, and really driving that mission forward through each step and each interaction. Now, I imagine that must be taking a lot of effort, and this process is not perfect, right? But there's something about the intention that you are taking on this path that I feel like is really being highlighted by this card here, this Page of Wands, because this is a new beginning, a new chapter. That's not to say that you haven't been exploring your sense of purpose and meaning and why we're here, why you're here, but you've leveled up. You are going into this next chapter equipped with a lot of this knowledge. Like, you've overcome a lot of this mental chatter, these mental barriers. It feels like whatever crumbled in that tower, it had to do with like a certain belief system that you had. Like, there was something that was really highlighted for you where you were like, wait, the fuck? Like, that's not how I want to think. Or, oh, That's why I feel this way. Like there was some type of epiphany, some type of insight that is now allowing you to embark on this path of real intention, like genuine intention. And I feel like genuine intention, again, does not imply being perfect necessarily, but it's more of like, okay, I am initiating into this path or into this next step of living my purpose on purpose and doing so intentionally, engaging in that practice. Just how I feel like living for a lot of us is a practice, right? You know, so many of us may experience a lot of the shadows and the densities and the traumas that may have happened for us personally or within our families, within our lineage, within the collective, or just in this earthly grid at this time, especially for those of us that may be more sensitive. It can be really difficult not to pick up on a lot of those messages or desires to flee, to escape. It may not be the most pleasant experience, being able to feel into all the densities within this realm. But it's important to note that the things that we may be experiencing may not be all of ours. And so I feel like a part of that crumbling, again, you examining the mind, is you learning better discernment between what is yours versus what is not. And because of that work, because of how diligent you're being, that is allowing for this next chapter filled with this like leisure, this gentleness. It's like, man, you just chilling. You know what I mean? Like you have this abundance, but it doesn't feel like this magnification of your attention is being placed on the abundance. Instead, it feels like that magnification is within. It's your own light, your own divinity. It's your sense of knowing that you are connected. That connection is amplifying for you. And so because of that, because you are expanding within, your life is mirroring that. And that's why you can just kick back and just love on the things that are around you, because you are loving on the light within. Oh my gosh. Let's go ahead and see what card fell. This may be related to the crumbling of what occurred. Let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and pause for a moment. Okay, we're back. How interesting. So we have the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords that fell. The ending of that mental chatter again with the swords. This is very much of the cognitive realm. It's the air element. So it's everything related to like communications and deliverance of messages. And you think of like the pineal gland being an antenna, or how so many people interpret that as an antenna, and the messages that you may have been receiving again from outside of you of what is in the ethers, or what is in what is in the energetic field at this time, the earthly grid. Because you've done this work, this examination and allowing of the crumbling, you are allowing this drowning to dissolve, which is interesting to say it like that, but it's almost like you have become disillusioned to what is there. Yes. It feels as though you are in this empowered state based on the things that you've collected, the wisdom that you've gleaned, what you saw. I just keep coming back to what you saw as whatever structures were there crumbled. There's something so significant about that, because it's like you just saw things so clearly. So clearly. And that is allowing more and more to be dissolved over time. That's what it is. I'm getting this imagery of like, as you move forward, there's more that will continue to dissolve because of this work that you did. That is incredible. Let's go ahead and see if there's any messages from the light here for you. Oh, okay. I'm getting called to switch it up. Another card that fell. Let's go ahead and take a look at what that is. I'm going to go ahead and pause again for a moment. Okay. We've got celebrate. The celebration is off the charts because you did this work and you see the clarity. You are actively co-creating with the universe. We're co-creating all the time, manifesting all the time, attracting all the time. But again, because you opened your eyes more, you saw this clarity. You have this clarity. It's like you're harnessing that as you intentionally move forward, and as these structures or these densities, whatever that is, I'm not sure exactly what that is, but the whatever that is that's dissolving, that's leaving a trail behind you, that, yeah, you are calling in, you are attracting all of these blessings that are coming in, the things that you want, right? Like the job that you want, or the relationship you want, the interactions you want, the smiles, the love, the opportunities for creativity, the opportunities for self-expression, like what it is that you desire in this life, they're being attracted to you, and things are shifting for you right now. And the celebration is off the charts. And again, you're going to be sitting there chilling, loving it. Wow. And some of the messages that you may see that may like help to confirm this for you, or to serve as reminders, that's what I kind of like to look at these as, is the feather. So noticing feathers, it's interesting too, seeing like the way this light is moving out. It looks like this figure here has wings. It looks like a depiction of an angel because it's like blowing a trumpet. So a trumpet, that could be also like another image, or another sign for you to, one, that this is confirmation, and two, a reminder, because again, this process of living your purpose on purpose is a very like practice-based engagement. You know what I mean? Like it calls for this iterative coming back to and reapplying of principles that you feel so deeply within are true to you. So that's why, there's this path of remembrance, right? Like we don't just remember and then that's it. It's, we're continuing to navigate this Saturn ruled dense plane, and, having these densities float around us, moving through us, with the purpose of helping to dislodge whatever is meant to be. It can be really easy to slip into those densities to where it feels like that's all we can see, and it's really hard for us to come back and remember our light and remember why we're here. So when you see these symbols, whether it's an angel, whether it's this color of coral, whether it's wings or feathers, or even like this up here, it almost feels like confetti, or just, it's supposed to depict light. So whenever you see light that touches you, where you get that sensation within, don't doubt it. Don't doubt it. because these are all symbols that your guides are wanting you to know, to remember, to help you remember on this path. And of course, to continue to celebrate. Celebrate your wins. What would celebration look like for you on a daily basis? What would that look like? You know, oftentimes a celebration, it can feel like it needs to be this huge, massive thing, or at least look that way on the outside, but it really doesn't. It can just be this acknowledgement, loving on yourself, you know, prioritizing pleasure in an intentional way, again, like an active way, not just like a passive devil card energy way, you know what I mean? But like actually intentionally choosing, this is what I'm going to engage in pleasure for this reason. It doesn't have to be for a reason, but it seems like for this, the reason seems to be really important here. And I'm getting called to list making too. So it could be really helpful for you to write things down. Writing down like the insights, like this clarity that you have. It could be really good to document that for yourself. So writing it down, recording yourself speaking it, writing yourself a letter, writing down a list of some of the main insights, you know, journaling. Some of you may be called to write a book about this. That's something that I'm getting to. Maybe blogging. I just saw a streak of light. So there's something really significant about writing this so that you may share this with others when you are ready to. But it's really important to document this period in your life because something huge happened for you, and I'm just getting pulses of chills throughout my body. Something massive happened for you, and it's this unlocking. You unlocked something. You unlocked this next stage of your evolution, and you are meant to share this when you are ready. So don't look back. Keep moving forward. And I'm getting drawn again to this dove here. That could be another symbol to watch out for. Because not only are you divinely protected, but you're divinely guided right now, and you are being activated. There's this next stage in your mission. It's hard to explain, but there's something here. This level up is like it's not a little thing. What you unlocked is massive. And it is meant to be shared. You are meant to use this knowledge to shift things. Like I don't know exactly what it is, but I just get this energy that you're meant to shift things with this. This insight is not something that's supposed to just be left to the side. Record this, actively engage in this, and apply it. Yeah. Because this path that you're on, it's not just for you. You're being called, you're being activated right now. Wow. Well, that's what we have for your message today. That was really powerful. I felt like my whole body just got filled up, and there was just so much divine channeling that came through. Thank you so much for this opportunity to do this act of divine service for you, to be able to do this reading and deliver this message to you, to ensure that it got to you. Because it felt like your guides were saying this was urgent, like you really need to know this at this time. So I wish you the best of luck in this journey. Please don't be a stranger. Feel free to, like, share, and subscribe, be a part of this community here, because I'd love to do another reading for you again in the future. And, just as synchronicity brought us together today, I'm sure it'll bring us together again in the future, in this lifetime or another. So thank you for transmuting these densities. You're not doing this just for you, but you're doing this for, your lineage, physical, ancestral, ethereal, extraterrestrial. You're doing this for little you, your inner child, and all their iterations of them. You're doing this for me, and you're ultimately doing this for the collective. So remember that the work that you do is divine as well. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.